that one.
Hey, folks, I have 7 o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and call to order this December 12, 2023 meeting of the Board of Commissioners of the Town of White Lake. And I would ask, first of all, that you bow your heads for the invocation. Dear Lord, we wish to thank you for giving us the opportunity to be able to gather here on this night to discuss the business of our town. Lord, we would ask that you be with us and guide us and direct us as we attempt to do your will and to do those things that are in the best interest of the citizens of this town. These things we ask in Christ's name. Amen. The first item that we have on the agenda, and all of you who are here tonight are certainly welcome to join in. We begin each meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. And I would ask Commissioner Evans, if he would, to lead us in the pledge. Y'all are welcome to join in.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, first item that we have on the agenda, since this is a new election year, and we have 2 new members on the board, we will have oaths of office that will be presented to Mr. Hilton, Mr. Womble, and Ms. Hall. And I will be taking the oath as mayor, and we are fortunate to have with us tonight is Cristin Hursey, who is someone I get to see a lot in my line of work. And Cristin, we're delighted to have you here with us tonight. We appreciate you coming to administer the oath. And at this time, Cristin, if you would like to step forward, I'll let you administer the oath. Do you want everybody to go down front, or?
So if you'd like to have their family, that's fine. If you want to do it individually, if you want to do it all together.
Let's do it individually. I think would be good, and we'll go in any order that you would like. All right. Okay. I do.
You solemnly swear that you will support and maintain the Constitution and laws of the United States and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina, not inconsistent therewith. That you will faithfully discharge the duties of your office as mayor of the town of White Lake. So help you God.
I do.
Did you get a picture, Miss Faye?
Okay.
Hey, can you stand up again, Miss Faye?
You missed my picture. All right.
Do you solemnly swear that you will support and maintain the Constitution and laws of the United States and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina, not inconsistent therewith? Do you will faithfully discharge the duties of your office as Commissioner of the town of White Lake? So help you God.
I got some. That's exactly what we were talking about. Yes, sir.
Do you solemnly swear that you will support and maintain the Constitution and laws of the United States and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina, not inconsistent therewith? That you will faithfully discharge the duties of your office as Commissioner of the town of White Lake? So help you God.
I do.
All right.
You may come home, baby.
Do you solemnly swear that you will support and maintain the Constitution and laws of the United States and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina, not inconsistent therewith? That you will faithfully discharge the duties of your office as I'm sorry. Not yet. Your office as Commissioner of the Town of White Lake, so help you God. I will. Thank you, guys.
Before we move to our first item, there are a couple of things I wanted to mention. One is our town clerk, Pat Taylor, was unable to be with us tonight. As you know, she has been battling cancer, and I certainly hope that each of you here tonight will keep her in your thoughts and prayers as she battles her illness. And she just was not physically able to be here tonight. So we want to keep her in our prayers. I also wanted to mention that Mr. Tim Clifton is here. Tim chose not to run this time, but this is, I suppose, officially his last meeting, at least in this term. And Tim, we very much appreciate your showing up and being with us tonight. We want to thank you for all of the service that you have given to the town. And I wanted to remind everyone tonight that at our meeting on Tuesday, January the 9th, we will begin our meeting at 6 o'clock rather than the normal 7 o'clock time. And we'll be having a reception for Tim and for Tom Ryle, who we hope will be with us at that time. So I just wanted to make everybody aware of that, and we'll try to get out the word on it. Again, thank you for coming tonight and for your service. All right, the next matter that we have before the board will be the consideration of approval of a mayor pro tem. Mr. Tom Ryle has served in that office faithfully for many years. And with at this time, with Tom not being on board, we'll need to select a mayor pro tem. And at this point in time, I would open the floor for a motion for consideration of appointment of a mayor pro tem.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to nominate Kimberly Blunt.
Second. Then a motion by Commissioner Hilton and a second by Commissioner Suggs. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. And Cristin, if you will, we'll need you to administer the oath of Mayor Pro Tem to Commissioner Blunt.
You solemnly swear that you will support and maintain the Constitution and laws of the United States and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina, not inconsistent therewith. That you will faithfully discharge the duties of your office as Mayor Pro-Tempore of the Town of White Lake, so help you God.
I've been on the board since '96. We haven't missed a meeting, so I hope you keep that winning.
Thank you, sir. I'm glad to have you serving in that capacity.
Wow. You hadn't missed a meeting, Goldston? You hadn't missed a meeting?
Me?
I've been on the board yet.
I've never missed a meeting. Never have, not in 38 years.
Whatever. Deems you useless.
Right. Yeah. Way to go. I take it seriously. The next item that we have, as we normally do, is approval of the consent agenda items. There's the agenda adoption, approval of minutes of the November 14, 2023 regular meeting, our November utility releases and November tax releases, November tax refunds, and the matters of the collection of delinquent utility accounts which have exceeded the 3-year statute of limitations under the general statutes and the 4-year statute for those that apply. And at this time, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda items.
So moved.
So, any discussion? Not all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Next is item 3 is our administrative matters. First matter is on our project updates, and we have several. First is the White Lake Water Management Project update, then the Water AIA project update, Stormwater Master Plan update, and the appointment of the 24-25 budget officer and budget committee. And Sean, if you'll go ahead and proceed with items A, B, and C on the project updates.
Yes, sir. I'd be happy to. First and foremost, I'd like to start off just by saying congratulations to you, Mayor Womble, to you, Commissioner Hilton, and to you, Commissioner Hawley and Commissioner Womble. I'm certainly looking forward to working with all 4 of you over the next, 4 years. And again, just congratulations on your election results there. And to you, Commissioner Tim Clifton, I want to say thank you as well. It's been a pleasure serving with you. And I want to extend an invitation that if you're ever in the neighborhood, feel free to drop by and say hello anytime, anywhere. So again, thank you for your time here.
Yeah.
Just gotta sit out there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So having said that, we'll start tonight with our report to the White Lake Town Board from Diane Lawrence and Dr. Diane Lawrence here on our lake management update, excuse me. She has a couple of charts in this month's report. The first chart referencing the monthly rainfall in inches for White Lake over the 10-year period. It's important to note that the last recorded month is November at 3.25 inches. And she does make a note that the total rainfall for the year to date is similar to last year, and the White Lake levels therefore are also similar to what was measured last year. The second chart you'll see in the report is a chart that measures lake levels over the past 5 years. The 5-year high for the lake level that's been measured was in 2021, March of 2021, with the 5-year low being 2019, July of 2019. The next page of her report does go into detail on lake level elevations, the high recorded mark, the low recorded mark, and the actual mean high water level, the average high level water level. Over the period of 5 years there, 2019 to 2023, the variation is 21.1 inches, which is depicted in a chart at the bottom of this page, and the 5-year high water level mean is 64.7 feet NAVD 88. The last page, which I think is particularly interesting and of note, depicts with 2 charts, the nitrogen TN, total nitrogen, I should say, and total phosphorus TP levels. And she explains that they can vary a good bit from month to month, but generally show the same trends from year to year. October 2023 levels that were measured for total nitrogen and total phosphorus were relatively low. And she does note that the alum treatment in May of 2018 lowered the nitrogen and phosphorus levels considerably, and those levels persisted until midsummer of 2019. And of course, that rainfall does remain the largest contributor of nitrogen to the lake in and of itself. But I want to call out in the total phosphorus chart, you'll actually see, based on the data that we have, this is the lowest level of total phosphorus in the lake since over the past 5 years, even lower than the alum treatment levels. So it does look like, as the charts indicate, that the nitrogen and phosphorus are both relatively low at this time in the lake. In addition to the lake level, the lake update report from Diane Lawrence, staff has an update on a series of conversations and meetings that have taken place with a hydrologist at the direction of the board. You'll recall several months back, there was some discussion about looking for a second opinion or even looking for another scientist, and staff has gone through a vetting process. While there has not been a high level of interest in that position, staff does have several options that we've been working with and talking to. And it's of note in these conversations that staff is expecting a proposal which will be brought before the board in the very near future. So at the time that proposal is received, I will bring it before the board with a recommendation, and certainly we can move forward or in a different direction at that time. Having said that, Mayor, that's the lake management update for this month.
If you want to go ahead forward with the AIA and the master plan.
Okay, for our water AIA update, you'll notice in your agenda packet, there is a brief synopsis from our senior project manager that discusses the work that was completed during the month of November 2023. There's also a section that discusses the work of the anticipated work for the month of December 2023. These are typical for this type of project. This project will go into next year, probably wrapping up in the fall of 2024. Again, this is a water asset and inventory analysis of our drinking water system, which does position us better for the grant cycles through the state funding agencies, particularly being able to begin repair work and much needed improvements in sections of our water system, as it is starting to reach the point of reasonable life cycle. Letter C, the stormwater master plan update, the work has completed on the draft plan. The draft plan was sent to the planning board for their review. We discussed at some length both the master plan draft at that time, as well as the stormwater policy recommendations for the stormwater ordinance. We are in the process of shaping and drafting a stormwater ordinance to bring forward to the Board of Commissioners. And we are also in the receiving process of the stormwater master plan draft comments. And staff anticipates that the stormwater master plan will be on the agenda for January of 2024 for board presentation. Lastly, on letter D, this is the appointment of the 24-25 fiscal year budget officer and budget committee. In the past, the Office of Town Administrator has served as the budget officer, and the Board of Commissioners has served as the budget committee. Staff is recommending that we follow the same type of arrangement for this fiscal year's or upcoming fiscal year's budget, with a budget calendar expected to be presented to the board by the budget officer, Office of the Town Administrator, in January of 2024. And if there is no questions or comments, Mayor, the staff would ask that the Board of Commissioners appoint the budget officer and budget committee as presented.
All right, I would entertain a motion at this time that we appoint our town administrator as budget officer and the mayor and commissioners as the budget committee for the upcoming 24-25 fiscal year budget to be addressed. Motion second.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, Mayor, you always served as the administrator of the budget,
Except for last year, yeah.
and I think our form of government, I'm not sure the town administrator can serve as that budget officer. We're a council form of government, so I'm not.
Under the mayor council form of government, the board can appoint the Office of Town Administrator to virtually do any task that they appoint. It does have to be appointed on an individual basis, but it is legally an option.
And that's my understanding too, yes.
But it's ultimately the board's decision.
Right, yes, that's correct.
Any further discussion? If not, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign.
Aye.
Okay, the next item is the first bank signatory. Sean, if you will present that also.
Sure. Under the First Bank signatory, we have been essentially redesigning our internal control measures and updating our policies and procedures over the past couple of months in the administrative department, as well as the purview of the entire organization. And it has basically come to the point where under our internal control, the folks that prepare the deposit daily should not be on our signatory list. In other words, they should not be making deposits at the bank if they prepare the deposits. It's not happening now, but with an employee being on that list, Amber Glisson, our deputy finance officer, staff is asking the board to remove Amber Glisson from the list. And staff is also asking the board to update the Mayor Pro-Tem signatory to Commissioner Tim Blunt, now that he is officially the Mayor Pro-Tem, and remove Tom Ryle as the signatory. If there are no questions, Mayor, that's all staff has on that item.
All right, then I'll entertain a motion. And before that, I do want to let you know, we have not changed the policy. All of our checks that go out are a two-signature check, just so you will know, just like we've always done. I am one of the signatories on every check that goes through the town. And the staff provides to me backup documentation on every check that is signed. And we intend to maintain that. It has served us well in the past, and we intend to maintain that going forward. Just so you'll know, and hopefully that will give you some additional comfort level. But at this time, we do need to, I think the motion would be to remove Ms. Glisson as a signatory and to place on there Commissioner Blunt as Mayor Pro Tem as a signatory.
To remove Tom Ryle as well.
Yes. Okay. That's the motion, folks.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? Not all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. We have two resolutions for disposition of personal property. And Sean, if you would provide the information on those.
Yes, sir. For resolution 2024-08, we have been recently approached by the Bladen County Community College with some interest in the 2006 Ford Crown Victoria. Once it was determined that this asset was to be placed under surplus, meaning that the town no longer uses it or has a use for it. So in this resolution, the staff is presenting to the board a resolution to dispose of the property by sale or donation in this case, of the 2006 Ford Crown Victoria with 153,353 miles to Bladen Community College for their BLET program.
All right, and I will need a motion on that authorizing the disposition of that personal property, the 2006 Ford Crown Victoria, as stated. I would entertain a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Motion second.
I think Jake second. Yeah.
Any discussion? Not all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign, and you've got item B.
Yes, sir. For resolution 2024-09, these are three pieces of public works equipment. There's a 1996 Chevy Silverado 3500 HD that serves as a dump truck, or has served as a dump truck, that with 102,273 miles on it. There's a lawnmower that's a Gravely 2T60 edition with 890 engine hours, and a lawnmower Hustler Fast Track Super Duty 60-inch cut with 1,132 hours on it. That is no longer of use to the department, and staff would ask that the board declare these items as surplus with the intent of authorizing the electronic auction of said personal property via Gov Deals.
And there's been a motion to approve that resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Not all in favor indicate by saying aye. All opposed, like sign. We just completed the sale of another item of a vehicle on Gov Deals and actually received a very good price for it. That was what model year?
1990 Suburban,
A 1990 Suburban, so it's,
1999 Suburban. I'm sorry.
yeah,
Another first.
it's about 24 years old, the first response truck, and we got, what was it, 65?
$6,800.
$6,800 on it on Gov Deals. So it turned out to be a very good resolution for us on that. I just wanted to mention that to you. Item number 5 is under other business. We have the departmental briefings and reports, as we usually do, that are in item 5A.
I got something under other business, if I may.
Okay, yeah, if you don't mind, let me run down through these and then I'll take any commissioner comments. Tim, what I was planning on doing is, well, I'll take any commissioner comments, and I wanted also to see if there were any comments from the folks who had just come on board. That's all right with you. Just let me run through these. The departmental briefings and reports are contained as we usually have in our agenda. In item B, we always like to present to you matters dealing with our employees, and the Bladen County School System sent a letter of commendation to Sergeant Burke Harris with our police department for the assistance that he gave to one of their bus drivers and helped with the safety of the children that were in the school care. In item C, we'll have our employee appreciation luncheon will be held on Tuesday, December 19th at the Cape Fear Winery. Item D is ethics for elected official webinar or classes, and newly elected officials are required to take 2 hours of ethics training. There'll be opportunities to take the class online. It's my understanding that our 2 newly elected commissioners are going to be attending a class on that in Wilmington, and I commend you for doing that. It's a very good class and a lot of good information. Item E is our holiday observances that are in accordance with the town's personnel policy will be closed on Monday, the 25th, Tuesday, the 26th, and Wednesday, the 27th. As always, we'll have someone in place for any water or sewer emergency calls. And again, municipal complex as well as public works will be closed during that time. But you again be able to reach town officials through emergency means, and there's a number listed for that. Is the non-emergency central communications number of 910-862-8141, which is the number we give out for that. And one other matter, and then Tim, I'll recognize you. Item G on that, Sean, if you wouldn't mind commenting briefly on item G, because you've been working on that. That's a lead and copper rule plumbing assessment customer survey.
Yes, sir. So the EPA recently, in the past year or so, has formulated the lead and copper survey rules, and there's a program that's been established partly to identify, partly to replace, and then partly to build an inventory through the identification process. And it's being handled by DQ through North Carolina state government. And this is an example of a survey that staff was considering. But I'm asking you tonight to discard this survey. This will not be the survey that we utilize. Staff has come up with a better way of doing it and received approval from the state to conduct our survey in that way. And I do want to share with the board too, once the survey is complete, staff will be making an application for a $2 million grant to partly to identify and then partly to replace the lead and copper that we have existing in our system now.
Okay, thank you. At this time, again, those are the generally listed items that we have, and I will recognize any of the commissioners for any statements they have. Tim, you had asked to be recognized, so
Yes, sir.
I'll let you go first.
Thank you.
Yes.
Jump, I thought non-voting item at the top. Just 2 things briefly. I don't want to sound like the Grinch here at Christmas time. and I'm all about the, employee appreciation. And whoever was on the board that advised or worked with Sean on holding this event, it's all good. But I think next year, we should take a step back as a commissioner, taxpayer, and the business owner. We have restaurants, we have venues that probably could have hosted it, that pay taxes, order bill, trying to maintain employees working. So next year, you may want to consider keeping it in our town, or hopefully maybe we get some folks out of town to come and have their parties with us. So with that being said, I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas and all that. And the next thing is the water festival. I understand we've had a good turnout. I understand with the leadership of Terry and some other folks on that committee, and I was hoping that maybe she could kind of give us an update, because I'm looking forward, or you know what, hopefully I can't wait for spring to get here fast enough. And hope we got some good, exciting things coming on. So I like to hear from Terry, any kind of updates. This, as a former commissioner, always have put a different hat on. That me putting a business hat. I hope we got some good things coming. So I think she could give us a little update. I appreciate it. And Jake, yeah, and all that.
Okay, as I said, I was gonna open it up to either one of those, since they're new commissioners, on making any comments they wanted to make. And Tim, I did want to mention to you, we had already discussed it. This year was just kind of seemed like it got to the point it was short notice on it. Sean and I have already talked about that we do plan on moving that around from place to place, and hope that we are able to use one of the local businesses next time around. It was just kind of a time consideration for what we needed to do this year. So we have already discussed that.
Yeah, well, that's
Okay.
good, because we're moving the entire town and company trucks and vehicles out of town for about 3 hours. So I hope everything's running good while we're all partying.
It will be. Okay. Jake, Terry, either one?
Yes, I'll go first, and thanks everybody for your support tonight. Appreciate all the other commissioners, everything that y'all have always done. Referencing what Mr. Tim Blunt was talking about as far as the White Lake Water Festival, it's going through a lot of different changes. Ms. Terry has stepped up as the chairperson and leading the way. Chamber of Commerce is stepping to the side in upcoming years. We've been having a lot of productive meetings, a lot of new ideas, but there is a lot of changes that are happening. Sean Martin has helped us from the town moving in a positive direction, but it seems like it will fall a lot on the town and on the private businesses moving forward in future years. And people like Terry and other volunteers to continue having the water festival. And all of us know it's a very important thing to have. Kicks the summer off here, to Commissioner Blunt's point. So I've been helping her as much as I can. We're looking at doing some new exciting things, but of course we all have a budget and we've got to be realistic. So this year will be a transition year, and I look forward to continuing helping with that, and along with other town matters, now being a commissioner. So thanks again for all y'all's support. And I'm here. I'm had the best of intentions being here. I care about White Lake. I'm invested here. My family's been here for over 100 years. Uncle Goldston is the mayor for 38 years. I find that very impressive. He's never missed a meeting. So that tells you where my family stands on it. I believe my great uncle Jack was the first mayor here. So I am tied to the community, and anybody that knows me, my door's always open, and I'm a genuine person. I care about the people of White Lake. I care about White Lake. Anything you ever need, just let me know. Thanks.
Thank you.
And your grandfather served on the board.
Right.
Great speech, Jake.
Thanks.
I can't follow that. Water Festival is going great. We have so much support from businesses and individuals this year to pick up the slack from where the chamber is stepping away. I've been going through the ranks this week at Fort Liberty. We're trying to get the paratroopers to do a practice jump that weekend. And then if that works out, we're thinking they would be great parade marshals because we want them to know how they affect us. Every time I watch them, I know my heart just swells with patriotism. And I think it would be great for the thousands of people who are here for Water Festival to have that same feeling. A lot of new events, we're talking back and forth. We'll see where it all goes, but I want to thank the businesses and the people in the town who are helping pull it together. Thank you all for giving me this seat. I promise to do well as best I can. I have a question. November's meeting hasn't been posted, the recording yet. Is there a reason?
We're working on it. It should be posted any day.
Okay, and a recommendation that when you do close the office, like for the 19th or for the holidays, you may want to use that as a chance to use that text message out to everyone. There's still a lot of people that are not getting those messages, and maybe with more frequent text, we can figure out who else needs those.
Sure, I'm actually glad you brought that up. So our system now is severely limited to basically account holders who have given their cell phone number as primary means of communication, which creates a little bit of a hassle because it's misleading in the sense that while their cell phone number may be on file, if it's not the primary number on file, then the message or the call doesn't go to that number. So we are actually in the process of moving over in the next budget year to a more user-friendly system with online signups, and it will also include emails, text messages, phone calls, things of that nature.
Good.
And at that point, they can select what they want to be notified for. And of course, they can be notified for everything they want, but it will build the database for us that way instead of having to rely on our finance software system. Like I said, that's unfortunately severely limited. So I do apologize for that. If that is something that's being brought to anybody's attention on the board, please have them call the office so that we can make that change.
All right, and welcome to 2024, right? We'll get the office up to date eventually.
Okay, thank y'all very much. Again, delighted to have y'all join the board and look forward to working with y'all. And I appreciate all the folks who are here tonight, family members and other folks who are here. We're always glad to have you present for our meetings. Sometimes we feel a little lonely here, so we're glad to have you. And at this time, there is no closed session that we have scheduled. So at this point, we've got the open forum, which is 3 minutes per citizen, if anyone wishes to address the board. If not, then as I said, we have no further items on the agenda. Appreciate y'all being here. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. There was one other thing we just meant to mention, and that is the Chamber of Commerce is doing their after hours program will be on December the 19th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Camp Clearwater. And you're welcome to attend there. They're going to announce winners of the lighting of the lake and the elf scavenger hunt. And Clearwater has gone to a lot of effort to really create a good environment down there on it. If you happen to go out that way, I recommend to you go by the corner down there where Lake Road and 53 meet. They've done a great job with their lighting down there that they put in, and of course always are good corporate citizens for us. So if you're able to do that on the 19th, and we'll be getting out some additional information on it. But thank you for reminding me of that, Sean. I hope we'll get a good turnout on it.
I got one quick thing. Womble River Council Governor. I've served on that board since 1996. It was going to be like a 6-month trial basis. And that turned out pretty extended. So if one of the new members in my alternate was Mr. Suggs here, but if a new member I would like to step down from that board, is very educational, great way to network, and the work that we do with the COG and going forward doing more work. We got a commissioner that's pretty active. So if somebody wants to take consideration of filling my position. I don't know if we do it next month.
Yeah, we can't do it on this meeting because it's not on the agenda, but we can definitely, put, you sure you don't want to make that? a little longer? The Elizabethtown representative did the same thing. It must be, catching. But we will definitely put that on the agenda for January because it is a worthwhile thing to have a representative on that. The COG has provided valuable services to us over a period of many years, good folks to work with. And I would ask that y'all be thinking about it. Kim, unless I'm mistaken, I think instead of going to the meetings, you can now do that online.
You can do it on
with the-
Zoom, but it's really that face to face really.
It's always better, but it's not something where you have to get out every time. So if any of you would consider that would be good because we do have a lot of connection with them.
When do we find out department heads?
When do we what?
When do we find out department heads for the coming year?
The same ones we got now?
I didn't have one.
Huh?
I didn't have one.
I think she's saying.
Oh, you're not talking about department heads. You're talking about commissioners' departments. The department heads are like Sean and the clerk and fire
Yeah.
chief and that.
Mhm.
Okay. You're talking about the commission. We bring that up each year. Of course, we operate on a fiscal year basis, unless I'm mistaken. I think that comes up during basically what would be mid-calendar year. But we can go ahead with two new commissioners coming on and see what we can do to go ahead and fill those slots.
Okay.
Well,
We can put that on the January agenda as well.
yeah, sure. That'll be fine. Okay,
Tim, you're not through yet.
anything else, folks? Okay, if not, again, appreciate all of you being here tonight, and at this point, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Any discussion? Not all in favor indicate by saying aye. All opposed, like sign.